Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Yes, what's Kilt-Man wearing? Well, a white t-shirt, but he's also wearing the Argyle, the gorgeous Argyle. You know, it's fantastic. Oh, look at this, it's resplendent. Look at all the studs and buttons, it's great. And I'm wearing the Ramsey blue, and I'm also wearing the Ramsey blue sock flashes. Don't know if you can see them there. Somewhere there. There they go. There they go. Why is he suited and booted? So appropriately, because Kilt-Man went for his first interview for a job in over 20 years. In fact, probably over 30 years, really, when you think about it. My entire career has been mostly civil, well, all of it civil service, but running concurrently with it was 6 years in the Royal Marines, as well as Ministry of Defence and the Civil Service. So, really speaking, I didn't have any interviews for any. You get moved around within your department. Oh, you've done like a year on tender issuing, contract tender issuing. You've done finance, blah blah blah, and debt recovery. You've done this. And then you do like airline bills and freight bills and train tickets for mainly armed forces moving about on these things, which obviously the MOD paid for. So I've worked on, and that's by the way, that is just the top of the iceberg there. And I've done many other jobs as well within these huge auspicious departments. But you didn't necessarily apply for something else. There could be a job coming up which you might want and you'd apply for it. I didn't do that. I didn't want any of them. I got moved around left, right and centre. And when I joined the Royal Marines, they told me straight away, it was a Mancunian sergeant, and he went like, when you come to us, this is before phase 1 and phase 2 training. You just done all your selection process. So phase 1 and phase 2 was about to begin. And he went like, when you come to us, you're doing officer training. Officer training in Royal Marines runs, you do the exact same phase 1 and phase 2, but you do more as well. You do officer training at the same fucking time. And I went to him, I don't want that, sir. I don't want that. I actually called him sir as well, and he's like, you call me sir, and so you're sergeant. And I went like, well, no, I want to be an ass in the grass Marine. I don't want to be doing anything. I don't want responsibility for anybody else. I don't want that. I don't want to be a Rupert. I don't want to be in charge. I just want to do everything everyone else does. Oh, his face changed. He became a right mob. Well, it's going to be really hard, really tough. I went, yeah, I know. And he went, it's going to be even harder and tougher for you. And he went lying, because he massively made sure that I was always picked for troop leader, squad leader, and I was always the one map reading. And map reading, that was the world's worst at map reading. I was always the one who was put in front and made the figurehead. And obviously, if things went tits up, who took the blame? Hello. But got through it all and gained enormous respect. But it's because I said I don't want to do that. I don't want to be an officer. I never got any stripes either. And like, you earn your stripes. You've got to earn. I've always been a firm believer in, like, if you get promoted, you get stripes. You become a corporal. You become sergeant. Whatever, however you progress in whatever field of life you're in. You've got to earn that first, and your peers have got to respect you and like, right, we're putting you forward for this because you've earned it. This is a recognition for what you've done. That's great. I didn't get any of that in Marines. I didn't. No, massively didn't. But I think it's because I was such a bullshit twat to begin with. But civil service, which ran concurrently, of course, yes, promotions, and I actually led teams. I was actually in charge of certain sections, albeit briefly, and I hated it. I fucking hated it. But it is what it is. Well, all those careers have come to an end. I took voluntary early redundancy, back 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, and I, as you guys well know, and I did say one chapter ends, the chapter begins. Well, this chapter is still in the process of being sort of handwritten into notarized versions, and then like scrunched up paper and thrown away. I haven't really done anything at all. I've enjoyed and been lazy with most of this couple of years, and I'm not knocking it. I think it was great, and I think, well, I've done a hell of a lot in my life, and I've earned this now. But it does come down to the fact that you've got to pay bills, haven't you? And and I want some, whiskey money, pin money, you could call it. So anyway, I've looked at other careers, and I've been asked to do certain things. Even at my age, I still get asked about mercenary work, and I'm never gonna do that. And I've told, when you get talking to certain people who do it, and they're like, but you can do it. I'm like, I'm way out of practice. I've got no idea. Weapon systems these days, we can use all weapons. No, I don't. I'm not doing it. I've got a family. I'm not gonna fight someone else's wars. The money's great, but I'm not doing it. So it's as simple as that. And I've put the kibosh on that since I don't know, got offered it. I got quite a while ago, while I'm still working actually. And anyway, didn't do any of it. So not doing it. Too old now. So Kilt-Man, what are you talking about then? What new career are you hinting at? Well, it's not a career. It's a new job, something to get me out the Kilt mansion, get me under the feet of all the pesky servants, and just basically pay something back to the community. All my life I've strived to be helpful, altruistic, look after someone else. Anyone who's lesser able to do things than I am, I've strived to help them. Always have. It's not oh my God, aren't I great? No. It's just, I think it's a fundamental thing. I think it's a skill and an ability and a sort of desire which has been quashed in later sort of societal years, the last few decades. It's very rare to find someone who does that. But I've done a lot of charity work, and I always help people, always have done. So all my life, my career has been about, like, there've been great jobs, there've been great things which have meant something. I'm not going to go into them all, obviously, but I've never seen the end result, or rarely seen the end result. The end result could often be quite grim, but majority of the time that I've spent working, it's been like a small cog in a slow moving wheel, making things happen and doing part of a job which other people then will take another part in, and and the outcome you never see. Well, that's great, for a while, but for me now, at my age, I kind of want to see some genuine benefit. I want to see face to face something that I've done that's helping you, that person, whoever you may be, want to help them. So I've gone way out my comfort zone, and I did mention this a while ago. Don't think I said what the job was though. I applied, or was sort of suggested, why don't I go for a passenger assistant on a special needs bus? And I was like, what? Are you seriously? Special needs? And the more I thought about it, I thought, like, oh my God, no. Yeah, I could be great at that. I can't drive, as everyone knows. Everything I've done, everywhere I've been, and like the opportunities to learn to drive, which have been handed to me on a silver platter. We can train you to drive trucks, fly helicopters, to do this and do that, you know, be a coxswain and all that, and you can, oh my, and I've done none of it at all. Terrible, really terrible. And so I can't drive. But the passenger assistant is the person that gets the bus arrived. I get picked up from the Kilt mansion over the drawbridge. Bus will turn up. Could be a different driver each time. I gets on board, and then we go and pick up kids between the ages of get on this 2 and 25, 2 years old to 25 years old, and you know, and they've got all their needs, their requirements, their behavioural traits. You see the parents and like get the medication which they may need for school, obviously, and you get them on board, make sure they're nice and secure, tucked in, nice and neat, and off you go. And you drop them off at school, and then once that's all done, the driver brings me back home again, and then end of the day we do the same thing again, but in reverse. We pick them up from school, take them back home again. But within that parameter, you have an enormity of things that can happen, because these people are all individuals and they've all got massive issues. Some will be fine, but some will be runners, as they call them, who escape and try to run down the street, just try to escape. They might smash windows, they may cause fights and aggro, and it's my job to try to calm everything down. Me. And do you know what? I'm really looking forward to it. I have a day's training next week, but I think it's experience based. You've got a lot of fallbacks, a lot of people you can call upon, but you've got to remember you're a mobile vehicle, possibly travelling quite some distance, and you've got kids to men that could fly off the handle, and you've got to calm that situation down. One has a meltdown, it's going to scare everybody else, and then they have a meltdown. So, oh my God, how do you juggle that? Well, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But the thing is, you've got to be confident, and you've got to be patient, and you've got to have a level of understanding. So in the interview today, I went dressed like this. I tried on several shirts. I'm not one for formal shirts or ties. I just can't do it anymore. So I'll put a white t-shirt on, but I'll put the Argyle on as well. Like, I do love the Argyle, and I wore the Ramsey blue and the sock flashes, and a pair of combat boots. As you do. But the whole thing, I'd already got the job anyway, from the CV and everything I'd written about myself. They already knew, and the minute I walked in, they were like, yeah, he's kind of got it. So they gave me a little scenarios. What would you do in this case? What would you do with that? How would you deal with this? And at one point, it was a woman and a lad, a bloke that were interviewing me, and Rob, the bloke, went, yeah, can you read upside down? I was like, I've got many skills, but no, I can't do that. So like, because you're giving the perfect answer to every single question. I'm like, isn't that good? Isn't that good? A lot of it's common sense though. You've got to think laterally, think outside the box, and think, what could you do in certain scenarios? And a lot of it's very basic common sense, you know, but anyway, it come across well. So at the end of it, it meant, have you got any questions? And one of my first questions was like, well, A, can you wear a kilt? We'll come on to that in a minute. And the second one was like, well, how soon will I find out? And he went, well, I can answer that right now. You've got the job. Wow, nice one. It's a job that you get your foot in the door, and it can lead to other things. So, you know, whether I want that or not, that's rather irrelevant. but it's a stepping stone. And it's a good thing, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing. And I think it'd be a great sort of great thing for me. A lot of you guys know, how I can be. A lot of you guys know me, personally, and you know how I can be. And I think this will be a real sort of just a great opportunity to open up another envelope in the Kilt-Man's life and give something back and really work to help other people and hopefully get to know them and see them progress. Can you imagine that? What's better than that? To know that you're protecting someone on their journey, albeit to and from, but you become like a stalwart in their life, a linchpin, and you get to know them, you could talk to them. It might not work in everyone's case, obviously, but because you're going to get different buses of different people. But I think there's a real avenue here to be explored where you can genuinely help people and come home and just feel like I actually done something today and be aware of genuine people, which I think is that for my career, that's been lost. You've not really known, the vast majority of my working life hasn't been military. It's 30 years, I think 6 years military, but 30 years was like sitting behind a desk doing various other bits and bobs and never seeing an end result. Getting to know your teammates, your workmates, but it was always us against them. That's a different kettle of fish. Now this will be me working to help people. So I thought I'd share that with you because I know I've hinted at sort of career moves and things in the offing. Most of the things in the offing have not been things I'm probably better qualified for, but I'm not going to do. Not now, not this time of my life. I'm not doing it. So this is better for me. So anyway, just want to share the good news. So I'm still wearing this because I afterwards come out because the interview was done. It was done this morning. So God, what time is it now? It was done almost 12 hours ago, and it was wrapped up. The interview would be 45 minutes. Well, the interview was done and I got the job within 25, maybe 30. But then we kept on talking because you know what I'm like, yabbity, blah blah blah, and I made a good laugh, and it was great. It was super informal. And I mentioned the kilt. I did say, you may have noticed I wear a kilt. And they went, yeah. So is that going to be a problem? I went, no, wear whatever you want. And for the first time ever, someone made a real good argument. I can wear the kilt. It's cultural. It's my heritage. I'm allowed to. You can't stop me wearing it. No matter what job I go for, you can't stop me wearing a kilt. However, getting in and off a bus and using wheelchairs and ramps and buckles and harnesses, the kilt is going to get in the way. Caroline, who was the main interviewer, she said, look, I do the very job you're going to be doing. And she went, look, I don't wear the skirts because it can get in the way. And of course I went, well, and there's always the, I get up kilted all the time, no matter where I go. Not just from women, but from blokes as well. And the blokes get a swift fucking fist to the jaw. But women, they can film them. That's I'll prance and twirl and pose. Don't mind at all. Bloke does it. My stipulation: the bloke does it. Coming down. But it's still wrong. Either way, it's wrong. And you put yourself in that environment. You don't want to be compromised, where someone's going, well, you show your bits, and but. Which you didn't do, but maybe someone's raised your kilt because they reach, they grab, as I've been told. So it's just not worth it. And some physically assault So it's going to be interesting, isn't it? So I actually spent like, I'm not going to wear a kilt. I wear a pair of postman shorts. You know, the posties wear shorts. I like their cargo shorts. So I might actually find myself in a predicament where I've got pockets. I've not had pockets for many years. Don't know how to use them. Don't know what to put in them. You know. So, but it could. I will not wear the kilt. And you wear a high-vis vest. So Kilty, the kilt and the vest will become shorts and a high-vis vest. Oh, what's happened? But anyway, it's a new chapter, you know. So see what happens. It might not be for me. I might do a few runs and go like, I can't deal with this. I might get too wrapped up in it. You know, oh God, you know, this person's upset all the time, and like, oh God, I just want to make them feel bad, and I can't do it. How do you do it? How do you get around it? Well, it's a learning curve, isn't it? And you will gain more and more experience. And the only way you gain experience is by doing it day in, day out, and having different things thrown at you. That's how you learn. So it's going to be an interesting new saga in the Kilt-Man's life. And it's just pin money. That's all it is. It's just pin money. So to keep me in whiskies. So I'll get off the bus, end of the day, and like the shorts will come off, kilt goes back on again. Oh, I can breathe again. I am now Kilt-Man again, you know. Right, folks. I know you're all happily indulging in Alien Earth, and you weren't going to believe this. I have still not seen any of Alien Earth. Oh, what, Kilty? Did you say that out loud? Yeah, I did. And yeah, and I want to. Don't get me wrong, I want to. But there's just been stuff and things on my mind. I've just not settled to sit down and watch anything. I've also been out a lot as well. But yeah, and there's that. Come back home. So I am looking forward to it though. Episode 3, I think, is tonight, or was it last night? But anyway, it's certainly episode 3 is dropping imminently. And I still have not one, but 2 film reviews to do. I've seen both fucking movies, I haven't sat down to tell you about them yet. What's going wrong? And it's a busy week as well. Me and Mrs. Kilman have got a lot of things lined up from tomorrow onwards. So I'll do my best to you know, get back on track. But the weekend, I think this coming weekend, we'll move into, you know, the proper stuff again, and trying to get things moving. But at the moment, I'm just keeping you updated, and you know. But yeah, movies, I've seen 2, which you possibly haven't seen, and yeah, we're going to talk about them. Why? Because one's utter shit. But there you go. That's half the fun, though, isn't it? Right, I'm playing Who Dares Wins. Francis Lay and Roy Budd. Awesome soundtrack to Ewan Lloyd's awesome bloody SAS extravaganza. Lewis Collins. It's the greatest strut music ever known. Especially this, just fucking in your ears. Oh yeah, you may have noticed somewhere over there that is the Union Jack. It is here, folks. In the UK right now, it's frowned upon to, you know, show that flag. But, you know, some of us don't care. And there's been a campaign to raise the flag. And it's all over the UK at the moment. It's on hills, on lampposts, on trees, on rooftops, in windows. Union flag is flying. Cross of St George, it is there in resplendence, and I walked around with that hoisted over my shoulder, vest and a kilt, just like, hey, you know, like that yesterday, and it met with genuinely rapturous response. Beep, 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 beep. Horns from the cars, and all like thumbs up and all like that. People stopping like, wow, that's amazing. And of course, and I've got a kilt on as well, like, so I look even better, you know. And it was great. And obviously a few pubs were taken in, but I did more. I don't know, 7 miles. I think I did an impromptu parade, a one-man parade, but it worked. Anyway, folks, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I have been always shabby Kilt-Man, so please, in the meantime, did you hear that? I heard that. What was that? Do we go and investigate? Yes, 'twas as I suspected, a feline fiend leaping around in the conservatory, doing what it does, the little fairy delinquent. So anyway, folks, please behave yourselves, be happy, be yourselves, and just look after everyone around you. You know, I'm going to indulge in a new lifestyle of like protecting people and making sure that they're going to be okay. They're going to be in my charge, and I'm going to do my utmost to make sure they have the best possible drive to and from school, and the best delivery system to the school teachers and back to their parents again, and make sure that they enjoy themselves en route and they have the happiest times. And that's my new quest now. So anyway, I'm sure there'll be plenty of hurdles before me before I reach that pinnacle. But who knows? Right, folks, anyway, I'm out of here. So be happy, just whatever. If you're going for a new job, good luck. Be confident. Just be yourself. Don't lie. Just be whoever you are. If you've gone for it and you've got the interview, then you've won half the process. Then you just gotta like be what you told them you are, and you come across and basically should get it. Unless there's someone obviously far better and far more themselves than you are, in which case, hard cheese, folks. Anyway, I'm out of here. Ta-ra.